My Opinion with J&M. Jonathan, it's been a week.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
Already?
Yes.
God, you know, take the bottle away from him, please.
Just a little sippy sip and I'm done.
Geez. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Lee, dude.
That was a pretty funny. Am I slurring already?
No, you're good.
Okay. I was gonna say that was a pretty funny joke you had about investing in barber's chairs because I'm so small. Yeah.
I don't want to know how small you are.
I'm not talking about there.
Yeah, there's no barber chairs for that.
Okay,
yeah, there's no helping you there.
I'm sure there's a fucking pump or something.
I've read about those.
Yeah, have you invested in those?
No,
yeah.
No. I don't think we need to review those. That'd be a product review, right?
This pump works great. Yeah, I stuttered there. I felt it. Yeah, I stuttered.
You're drunk.
Man, the things that await you. When you become a father. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, we'll get into that. We have another guest today. A friend of mine. So
you're just gonna cut me off like that?
Yes,
go ahead.
absolutely.
Fine.
I'll mute you. Shut the hell up while I'm talking. Anyways, we have a guest, another guest, a friend of mine. We actually went to high school together. All three of us went to high school at the same time. Actually,
some of us don't remember. Some other
you dropped out. I mean, what is there to remember when you drop out?
No, I get it. I was fat. I had a mushroom haircut.
Anyways, Diego.
Yeah, man.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
How you feeling today?
Tired. It's a long day.
Tired?
No.
I'm gonna tell you again, a little closer to the mic, or pull it towards you, whatever's easier for you.
That's probably better.
There we go. There we go. See, we're improving here. What'd you do today, man? How was your day? Work
from 9 to 5. Then went to my child's daycare where my wife works, and they had a Dr. Seuss literacy night.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. They had a lot of activities for the kids. My son just decided he wanted to eat for most of the time.
So that's how John was when he was a kid, or still is, I guess. Instead of reading, he just eats.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, and then that's it. Then I came here.
Awesome. So as I'm pretty sure people can see around you, I mean, you have a couple camera. You have a camera here, a lens here. So you're kind of into the whole cinematography thing, right?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? I'm pretty sure it didn't come from Kelvin Park's
drama club. No,
yeah, drama club or film studies. I'm pretty sure it didn't come from that. But
I mean, even though I was on the play Macbeth that Mr. Tuggle was doing,
we had that.
Yeah,
but you know what? Somebody told me about that, and I'm like, I don't even remember having a drama club or a drama class or anything like that. To be honest,
and my role wasn't big, but I can't even remember actually what I did. I just knew I was there for the whole thing. But no, it's the cinematography and everything kind of came. You ever have something that's within you that you don't know it's there, and then you start exploring and you start going through life, and then the more you see things, the more that kind of grows, right?
I feel like John wants to say something. He's just looking at me with this look. I think he's drunk, but that's just me.
No, I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Say it, brother. Say what you gotta say.
No. Go ahead. It was a joke.
No, actually, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of times we don't, I think it goes with kind of being the whole Hispanic. I use Hispanics as an excuse for a lot of things, but I remember growing up as a kid, even college wasn't pushed on us,
right?
Ours was just graduate fucking high school.
And get out of the house.
And then go into the workforce.
Right.
And that's what most of us did. I started working at 16 years old. I was working at fucking Kittyland, and whatever. I never really thought about college or, acting or whatever. Well, podcasting didn't exist at the time, but I never put mind into any of that stuff, until later on in life. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me try it before I fucking die.
Should have stayed in Kittyland. You would have been working at Costco now.
Yeah. They make good money there too.
Oh, they get paid. They get paid pretty well.
Yeah, no.
Actually, so what caused you to do it? Look into it.
So I guess it first started. I was a writer, right, and I say that as humble as can be. But I was mostly writing poetry, and
So you're a rapper.
No. No, I tried that once and figured out that's not the path that I should have went. So I rerouted and went back somewhere else.
Right, I had to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. But I think the writing is what got me into want to visually see what I was writing, right? And I think that's the fun part of being a writer, because I can create a world that I don't have limitations to. I can create characters and make them become what I want them to become and go through things that I want them to go through, and use film or television or just recording it in general to kind of show that, right? And allow people to see that, and hopefully that captivates them, or they find themselves relating to the character that I originally wrote about. So it started with writing, and then, I had a couple friends kind of push me and into the direction of, man, if you really like this, give it a shot. And then obviously I got behind the lens one day, and that was it. And, that experience of just filming something or writing and then filming it from beginning to end and seeing your product at the end, I was like, okay, that's it.
That's crazy, right? That's a crazy feeling. Like I try to explain to people what that would feel. It's hard to explain. It's like how I feel about like when I film, when I edit the podcast or whatever or something like that. Like you start to realize like, damn, like this actually looks halfway fucking decent. And I'm like, we put this together. We came up with this idea when I did my short film. Same thing. It was like, I wrote a script. I'm hearing some static. Somebody's giving me some static. Who's giving me static here? I had this idea, right? And I'm like, okay, how can I record this to kind of show this idea?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you have a product at the end, I mean, regardless of what people think or whatever, you're like, man, like I feel like I told the story.
Right.
And that's a feeling that's pretty fucking cool. Same thing
absolutely.
with acting, same thing. Like I haven't done much, but the things that I've done, as small as they are, when I go and see them, I'm like, fuck, I did that,
Yeah.
How many people can say that they do that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, it started off small. I haven't done anything major, but I think I took this year and I've been very dedicated and pushing myself into do the projects that I set out to do from beginning. Majority of the stuff that I've done in the past were like either for the local church or for just the, community or whatnot. It was nothing big, but I got to write it. I got to direct it. I got to record scenes, and I got to assist with making sure that these actors portrayed the role that I envisioned, Right. And it was a success for what it was for whatever cause that was set for. But now I've turned the corner where I want to get even more serious with it, and I have no schooling background. Everything is self-taught. Thank God for Google and YouTube,
Shit. Imagine if we would have had that when we were kids,
about
bro.
that
Right.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Shit. Can you imagine?
The best university that I've ever been to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So, I mean, it's helped me out a lot. And even getting a setup for a camera and looking at lens, did countless hours of research to try to figure out, what would benefit me, right? Because when you start thinking for production, you start thinking about your budget, okay? And then you start writing according to your budget. Well, I don't have money for a permit, so I need to be able to film in locations where it's free.
Sure.
Or I don't have to run into any issues or anything like that.
Absolutely.
So then you start figuring out, okay, that's how these people start off, right? They lay everything out, they write towards that, they film towards that, and they make the adjustments as they go. And so that's what I'm kind of learning right now, that it's not an easy process. It could be very stressful at times, but I'm at peace when I'm editing. I'm at peace when I'm behind the lens. I'm at peace when I'm writing. It's the most, I don't even know how to explain it,
like
but
therapeutic almost.
Yeah, it's like you figure out, you're like, man, I was meant to do this.
Right. No, I 100% agree with you. It's almost like well, you play basketball, like maybe not like John, but you played a pretty serious.
I play.
Okay, I'll give you an example. So like for you, it would be like when you lift weights, you're in this zone and you have this feeling and like nothing matters. Like your mind is clear as fuck. You're focused on what you're fucking doing, right. Whatever. Like basketball was like that. So like when you're playing basketball, you're focused on what you're doing. It could be the worst day in the planet, but for some reason, again, I hate to use this as a line, but like for those, like the whole Toretto thing, he's like, for those 15 seconds, I'm free. Yeah, basically you're fucking free. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't remember anything. It's just like whatever. You're just focused on what you're doing. So like for me, again, I transitioned from basketball to acting, and I'm like, okay, it does kind of, I don't worry about what's going on. Again, I haven't done much, but when I'm on set, with people. I'm like, this is all that's on my mind. I'm like, this is fucking cool. Go ahead.
So
Johnny, you're
fucked
laughing.
up that he gets all his philosophy from Fast and the Furious movies.
Not just that.
That's horrible. Come on.
You know what? You never turn your back
Culture
on
yourself. Oh, there goes another one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when I played basketball, it wasn't like that for me. I was just scared of disappointing you, Michael.
Really?
Because you would get mad.
I would not get mad at
Yeah.
you. Get out. Are you serious? I was not like that. I was very supportive of
Eric
you.
was like that.
Yes, Eric was like that. Eric was like that. But we won't talk about Eric right now. I love Eric. I love Eric, man. Eric's upset at me, and if he is, you know what? I'm over it, man. We can go hang out, have a beer, and talk about old times. Maybe we shouldn't talk about old times, but
No. Keep it current.
It's a crazy feeling to be, you know, a creative, you know.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, like, I understand, like, you like the mind just doesn't want to stop, right? I don't know if you suffer from that.
No. It's crazy because sometimes I got to pull myself away because I get lost, you know, and time's just flying by, and then you look at your watch or your phone, and it's 4 hours have passed by, but it's felt like 20 minutes to you, you know, and
your wife is screaming at you.
And she's like,
Food's
you know,
done.
I said we got to go to sleep, and I was like, oh man, my
Really?
bad. Turn it off.
Really? We got to go to sleep, bro. I'm just going to bring my laptop to bed. Nah, it's crazy. I'm like, you know, I suffer from the same thing. My thing is I'm always like super focused on things. So like when an idea pops in my head, I'm like, I'm gun ho on that. Like there's nothing that's going to stop me from thinking about like how I can do this better or whatever. You know, I'm weird like that.
Yeah. I mean, I found myself doing things that, like other directors or writers would do. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Love all his films. And he has this kind of process, right, where he puts together the playlist for the movie before he even has the whole movie laid out. I fall into that. Like, I need the music that's going to go along that kind of helps me through the process, right? And I found that without it, it's a struggle.
Okay.
You know, and then on top of that, I'm my biggest critic. So if I'm working in it, if I'm editing or if I'm filming, and I look back and it's not good to my standards, I'm stressed, right? I'm borderline depressed.
Do you hear that, Jonathan?
I don't want to do anything.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
That's really
I
odd.
just want to make
that
sure you
let
heard that.
The soundtrack dictate
Yeah.
But that's important.
The film.
You understand that?
No, I
like,
know
the
it's
score
important,
is
but
ridiculously important.
It's like, I understand if you're like a songwriter and you decide to write lyrics to the music or do music or compose music to the lyrics, if you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the film stuff, that's weird that you would go soundtrack first and then the film itself.
Yeah, so I'll give you a perfect example. You all have playlists, right? That you listen to on a daily,
Yeah.
whether you're working out or, you know, you're on the train or
Sure.
you're commuting. So I'll put on a playlist. Sometimes it's a random one. I mean, my playlists are super long, like 300 songs, 400 songs, etc. But then I'll be on the train and one song hits. That song allows me to paint the picture of the scene that I want to write. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then now all I have to do is revisit that song, and I've already can write out the whole scene because I've connected the two together.
Oh, okay.
You know,
makes sense.
you
Yeah,
get what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Yeah.
So that's why it's always important that, for me at least, that I have a playlist that I can use that kind of helps me write. Now, that's not to say that I can't write without one, but I know myself. It makes it that much better because, you know, how many times do you watch a movie or you see a television show and you're like, man, that's a cool song. Now that song's embedded in your brain.
Yeah.
And every time you hear it, you remember that scene, or you remember, you know, what was going on. You remember what you felt when you were watching that. That's what I want to give people. You know, I want to give them that feeling of, man, that's awesome, or man, that's impactful.
But that's the truth, though. I mean, the score of a film is like super important,
Right.
you know. And I was brought, you know, to light on that not too long ago, actually, because of the fact that, like, you know, you can grab. I mean, you can go and get, you know, royalty-free music or whatever, but it's weird because, like, I've done that before. But it's weird because, like, remember in a story, if you have someone composing music for you that can follow what's actually going on the screen,
Hans Zimmer,
it makes it.
He's awesome.
Danny Elfman, the Batman guy.
Yeah.
You know, you can make it, you know, follow the script versus if you get something that's generic, you're at the mercy of it. Does it fit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and it's powerful because that's part of it.
Right.
I mean, you talk about how my fucking short film is nothing but fucking sad music. I'm like, but that's the point because it's a sad story.
Get it.
It's supposed to make you feel sad. I mean, you can't, if it's a sad story, you're not going to fucking put Elvis.
I understand.
I mean, you could. It just wouldn't work.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
you're crying against the wall and you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Right. Or Bad Bunny comes on or some shit, you know, or whatever. Like that's kind of weird.
Si tu novio no te mama el culo.
Yeah, there you go. You see, that's just weird.
That has
you know
nothing to do with the. Okay.
Yeah, you know. But no, I find the whole concept of filmmaking like super interesting, dude. Like I mean, I'm not good at any one particular thing. Because I'm more of an actor. I'm more of in front of the camera, but everything just interests me. Like, you know, I'm trying to do another film and all that, like all of that. Like, you know, you got some Major League toys here, and I'm like, this is fucking cool. Like, this is all like candy shop stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's trippy.
That's his way of saying, "Can I use your shit?"
No, I'm not his shit. I need to use him because when I film my short film, I need you to move the camera because I'm not doing this again without someone who actually kind of knows what they're doing. No shame to people that help me with my other one, but again, there's a difference.
Right.
There's a difference between people that do this or want to do this than people that are just picking it up because they want to help.
Right. No, absolutely.
So this time around, I kind of wanted to pick people that actually want to do this kind of stuff. Like, you love cameras, you want to work behind cameras. I'm like, well, okay, cool. I want to do a short film. Do you want to help me out?
Yeah.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? It works. You know, John will be security.
Definitely.
That's what he's good at.
And the trainer. And the trainer.
Yeah, physical trainer.
I don't know about good at it.
You're also getting into the whole podcasting, right?
Yeah, so I just started it up. It's been a unique situation.
How so? Why? Why do you say that?
It's time consuming.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? I never knew. John, is it time consuming for you?
I never knew either. For me, it's just an hour that I'm here.
You're a guy, you know that? You're a shit.
Are there other components to it?
You
aside from just sitting here and cracking jokes? I don't know.
You know what, man? Go to hell, man. You know that? I'm done with yours.
Oh, man. No, and you know what? It was unexpected. But you go to the understanding of why, you know, like Joe Rogan and all these other guys have a crew that they do all this work. Because when you do it by yourself, you're setting up the cameras, you're making sure the memory cards are empty so you can use them. The mics are good. The stage is set.
Yeah, I got a crew.
I'm just gonna
Diego Rivera.
One man crew.
I'm just gonna keep staring at him while you say all this stuff.
And that's like the pre-setup, right? Then you have to go through it, and you're being conscientious of the time, of how everybody sounds, hopefully how everybody's looking.
I've helped with that. I know I've helped with that.
Sure.
I sat in your seat so you could.
So I can focus again. You're a great help, man.
You're a champ, man.
Holy crap! You're a vital organ to this fucking production.
You're the part that makes everything work,
man. Well, you know what? You know what he is, because he's the supply. I guess the infrastructure here that we have nowadays. But nah, you know what? I think people.
I'm like the appendix. I do nothing, and I gotta get taken out sometimes.
we can remove that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think people realize, like, okay, so I have friends that started up some podcasts and stuff like that, and or do some short films or whatever, and then you start to realize really quick how complex this can be. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, okay, I'm gonna hold the microphone and we're just gonna talk.
Right.
You know, if now you can do that. Of course you can, right? You can record it with your cell phone, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, if the goal is to have a good product, which I'm assuming is the goal, right?
Yeah.
You want something that's presentable, something you can be proud of when it comes to all aspects. Because, you know, you just doing it, obviously you should be proud of just doing it.
Right.
Right. But then at some point you're going to start to say, I need to level up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to do this and do that. And it's like, that's when it starts to get like fucking complicated, bro. Like,
yeah. It's time consuming, and I didn't know it would be that much. But then it even when you're not doing it, you're focusing on, okay, I gotta finish editing this part, and I gotta make sure I add this, and now I gotta color grade all this stuff and make sure it matches up, and then I have to worry about how everybody else is gonna take it. I don't know if that's you, but for me, I'm always wondering how the other side is gonna take it,
How they perceive it.
Yeah, like I want whatever that I put out into this world, whatever product that I give, that people enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's always in the back of my head. Like, man, did I ask the right questions? Did I
Put that bottle down, bro? Yeah, fucking alcohol.
Next week we're gonna do an AA meeting
Yeah.
with
Yes,
John.
yes. Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I'm an alcoholic. I can't handle my liquor.
Oh,
Especially
No, I
during
can't.
recording.
Yeah, you know, he
this
just
is a bad
has
idea.
he just has a
Really
bottle of liquid near all this expensive equipment. You know, yeah, that's smart.
We'll be fine.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
It's okay. But it's for me that's kind of where I'm at. You know, that's it's fun. The episodes that we've recorded so far, I haven't released them. I haven't done anything like that.
Who's the we?
So one of my close friends, Eddie, he was on here. Eddie Torres. He did an episode.
Yes, he did an episode. He's the one that loves to go to Disney World.
Disneyland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was just
Okay,
there
Disneyland.
again.
He was just
there
Really?
again. Yeah, he took a picture with all the princesses and all that stuff.
Holy shit!
So is that a permanent thing with you and him?
Our friendship?
No. I mean, I'm assuming.
trick
I'm
question.
assuming.
Yeah, our friendship is permanent.
I mean, mine and John. I mean, I don't
Did
know.
he go to Calvin Party too?
No.
Okay.
No, he went to Gordon.
Did he? Is he like going to be your co-host the whole time? Like, you guys have agreed on that, or are you going to be?
No,
alternating?
I hope so. I think we've had a good time together. And I like the fact that we're not exactly the same person. You know,
That's
you guys,
dynamic.
you guys have a good connection, right? John's not an actor, but that doesn't mean he can't talk about films.
Sure.
Right. And so Eddie is an actor. I don't want to be an actor. I want to be the guy behind the lens. So that relationship makes it even better.
Right.
So we're literally the two sides of the coin.
Absolutely.
It's been fun. Both episodes that we filmed and we wrapped up were fun. I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
That's great. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I admire people that do it. The only thing I hope for people is like they keep doing it. Because I feel like people never realize how like time consuming and like it's a commitment.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, you got to know who you get into business with.
Yeah.
Or into bed with, I guess, if they say it in a funny way. Like, I know John. I know this he's gonna. Well, obviously the studio's in his house. He better fucking be here every fucking day. But even before that, when we were at the other studio at my house, you know, he was there. You know, like, it's someone I know will always fucking be there.
Right.
You know, the last thing you need is someone you spend all this money on this crap, and then this dude's like 5 weeks in, he's like, ah, man, yeah, but I got this or whatever, blah 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 blah. Like, I don't even plan shit on Friday nights anymore because you know, this is what I have to do. This is
Right.
like he yelled upstairs. He's like, I'm at work. Slam the door.
I told my wife.
I'm at work. Close the door. But it's a commitment, you know, and it's a fun commitment. If you enjoy it, that's the key, right? You gotta have fun with it. I love doing this shit. Like, this is the coolest shit I think I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's fun. It's fun for us. And plus, like, again, I think what works best for us is we're really close friends. You know, we're like family. So a lot of the times we're thinking about the same questions or we're thinking about the same thing. So we're in unison without knowing we're in unison, you know? And I think that's what's worked well for us.
See, I think this is why we started bringing a third person in. Because me and him, we started by ourselves, just me and him. And then we were like, oh, we're interesting enough. We'll just talk, blah, 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 blah. But me and him, like, we're different, but we agree on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In the same funny, stupid ways.
Yeah.
So having people listen to me and him for how many episodes have we got already? Like almost 80?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just agree on a whole bunch of shit.
Just agree on, it's
like
fucking boring. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like, I'm like, we got to bring in another person who's going to be that curveball, who's going to be different than me and him. That's going to draw a little bit of attention off of us. You know, and you're doing the same thing, right? You're doing a third man, right?
A third man, there'll always be a guest. And I think what we're doing that, I don't know, maybe different, maybe not be different, is just allowing it to be a platform for people to tell what they like, what they're interested in, what's something they're passionate about, and go from there.
Are you telling me that's not what I do around here, bro?
No. That's not what
I
I'm
just
saying.
talk here for fucking how many minutes?
I'm saying in general.
Get out. I'm kidding.
And
I'm kidding. No, that's the truth. I mean, continue. I mean, I like your idea.
Yeah, and I always like to go back to film in some sort of fashion. Whoever we're talking to, kind of incorporate film or television or even music for that matter. And the great thing is that Ed and I, even though we're unison in questions, we're not always in agreement with how we feel. And
that's how me and him are. And I think that's the interesting dynamic. Yeah,
because we can be on two separate sides of the spectrum with some topics. And that's perfectly fine because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Sure.
That's what makes it interesting for whoever the viewer is.
See, I was trying to convince, remember we used to have that girl that would help us out? That she was the PA. You remember that girl?
Yeah, your cousin.
I love her. I love her to death.
Your niece cousin.
She was always of the mind, like, why would you want someone to go on and just argue with you? I'm like, because that's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's the point. If we all fucking agree, it's a short episode.
Have you never seen a Jerry Springer episode?
Yeah. Like literally, have you ever watched the show? There's this show called Dark Side of the 90s. It's on Spike or Vice, I think.
Vice.
It's called Vice.
Spike.
Sure, I don't know.
Spike's been off the air for like 10
years. It's the
years.
same fucking channel.
Maybe he's drunk too.
No,
what's in your cup?
There's a show called Dark Side of the 90s, and the very first episode was about Jerry Springer, right? And I'm like, and then they literally said it like the people were so fucking interested in just watching dysfunctional people argue on fucking
air
TV.
Out their dirty laundry.
Yeah, and it was a thing of the 90s. Think about all the talk shows that had the same shit. Jerry was doing it to an extreme level, right?
Yeah.
Maury was doing it with the "you are the father" thing. Fucking Ricky Lake was doing her fucking shit with
Jenny Jones.
Fucking Montel. All these people had all these. What's the one that got his nose broken by the racist thing? The Hispanic guy, something Rivera. It was something
Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah, that.
Why was I gonna say Miguel?
Because you want him to break his nose.
If I got
that
paid,
may be it. I don't know,
dude. If I got paid as much as Geraldo got paid, you could break my fucking nose anytime you want.
He has a sweet mustache, though.
He does.
Yeah, he does. That was the concept, and I'm like, man, you know what? To me, the best episodes we've ever had were the ones with like Kristen, where we argue about religion. Because I'm not religious, I'm an atheist, and he's religion, and the guest is religious. So we have these arguments about it, and it's funny because then I'll look at John, and John's like, "Okay, can we stop?" This is the point. The point is, it's entertaining to see people. Because
nobody ever convinces anybody else. So it's.
But it's not about that.
At some point, you got to drop it.
Here's the thing. The interesting. What makes it interesting is that the audience is either going to pick one side or the other.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what side they pick.
They ain't picking your side.
That's okay. That's okay. That's not the point. The point is you want them to either agree and then hate the other, or not hate the other person, but like to be like, oh, fuck that guy, or blah, 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 blah. That's the point, because that's what makes them tune in or stay watching, is because I disagree with him. He's fucking stupid, or blah, 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 blah. Either which way it goes. That's what, and unfortunately, draws people into this kind of stuff. But
sure,
it's the truth. It's fun to have a dynamic. We can't just all agree on the same shit. Chris Webber sucks, John. I'm sorry.
I don't agree about that.
Anyway, so you got 2 episodes in. When do you plan on like debuting it?
So I think I want to record one more. Obviously finish editing all of it, and then slowly start releasing them.
That's smart.
I needed.
That is fucking smart.
I'm using that as kind of a blueprint, right, to figure out how much time it takes me to edit. What's the average time frame of how these episodes are going? What am I going to do? Am I going to actually keep the, hour and a half going, or am I going to condense it somewhat? And then once I get a feel for it, which I figure usually takes about 2 to 3 episodes anyways,
sure.
Then, okay, cool. Next guest, look, this is the platform. This is what we're doing. This is kind of how the agenda is. And then we shoot. And then that'll make it easier. Pick a day for always editing, pick a day for always shooting. Kind of like how you guys have it, right? You guys always shoot on Fridays. I think I should pick a day where it's consistent, That way, not only do we know, but, like my family knows, and
everything's consistent,
right,
including your product. Because if you set a standard, right, you time yourself on that standard.
Right.
So you already schedule yourself. Like my schedule is always the same. Like my weekends don't exist much anymore. So like I do this Friday night. So I can't do anything on Friday nights. I do this. Saturdays, like my only day where I can kind of cheat a little bit, but I like to try to start, at least have all my stuff on my computer ready for Sunday morning. Sunday morning is when I'm gun ho on the computer, you know, and that's my day. And then the end of the day, I do whatever. But like, literally, that's my schedule. Like Saturday's the only day, and that's my Target run in the morning. Like everybody else, go spend $100 at Target. That's a normal thing, right? That's what everybody fucking does.
That's it.
I can never. That's the minimum. That's the minimum I can fucking spend at 100. Like I've never gone into Target and not spend at least $100. Well, that's never happened to me, ever.
I can't go anywhere and only spend $100. Shit. Even Aldi somehow is creeping up on me.
Oh, really? Aldi's kind of pricey too nowadays.
You don't think it, then you're 2 carts in and you're like...
2 carts? You're one of those, huh? And I worked at Aldi's for a while, dude.
I got a big family, so...
Bro.
How many kids you got?
5.
Damn, you got a basketball team. Holy shit.
Yeah, 4 girls, 1 boy.
Well, that gives you better chances of one of them being a success in Hollywood. There you go.
Yeah, and either that or the boy has to give me one of those MLB contracts that are $300.
Yeah, tough. Those are tough. Those are tough to come about. Let's talk about sports for a second. So, just to change the topic a little bit, we'll come back. We'll bounce around. Did you guys hear about Brittney Griner? She's apparently lost somewhere in Russia. No one knows where she is.
Yeah, didn't they just add like 10 more days to her sentence or something like that?
She can get 10 years for what she did. So to put this into context, right? Brittney Griner is a very tall African-American basketball player who is part of the LGBTQ community as well. Was caught with marijuana going into the airport into Russia, where she plays in her off season because she makes more money there. And she's being held in Russia for a while until they figure this out. Because apparently in Russia, the laws for marijuana are very, very strict.
They are very strict.
Actually, her crime can come with a sentence of maximum of 10 years in prison.
And you don't like the jails over there.
Yeah, and then they also have very strict rules with LGBTQ. Like they're and here's the thing, and this is where I get like, you know, people complain about America, right? They say, oh, we don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom. We don't have. Look at the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a lot of fucking freedom here. Is it equality all the time? No. Is it ever going to be a perfect system? No. Let's stop pretending like it's going to be. It's always going to be, it's not going to be perfect, but it's the best that we got.
Well, wasn't she one of the ones that was really outspoken against
police and all that stuff? Probably.
She was
America
also
in general.
But also about pay. She was one of the first, not one of the first.
Oh, they started whining about pay. I mean,
but she got mad because some NBA player got this really nice max deal, and she's like, you know, the coach, the former San Antonio Spurs assistant coach.
No, the girl.
The girl.
Oh, damn it. What's her name? Whatever. I'll think of it. Go ahead.
Well, she got a contract and as a head coach, and
it's worth more than as a player.
Worth more than a player.
But here's the thing, and I think this is what people don't understand. This isn't an issue of race, because they bring this concept of, oh, men get paid more than women. That's not necessarily true. Okay, I don't know where you stand on this.
That would be gender, not race.
I'm sorry, gender. I apologize. I love the way you just did that. You sound like me. You're learning. Yeah. Nice.
See, that's the appendix coming in.
He's already annoying. Somebody cut him out. Cut him out.
Appendix kicking in.
We're gonna have
is the right side of your stomach hurting already?
We're gonna have a job opening soon here. You know, they say this thing about men and women that, you know, men get paid more than women. I don't believe that, because I'll give you an example. If me and a woman go apply for McDonald's, do we all start at the same price?
Yeah, but that's
get paid more? Do I get paid more for flipping burgers? No,
not off jump.
Okay, now the argument always goes to, you know, when the positions are harder or higher or whatever. Like they'll say, okay, why does a plumber get paid so much and it's not available to women? Well, women never really want to be plumbers,
right? So
is it a man's fault that he does the harder jobs, the more dangerous jobs, the more dirtier jobs? Is it necessarily our fault now? And should you be compensated for that?
Well, but I think their argument is not just in that, right? Because you're talking about businesses, corporations, and even as athletes, right? They put in the same amount of work.
Sure.
You know, a baseball player makes millions of dollars. There's no baseball for women. There's softball. but it goes what as far as the Olympics, and then there's
there was a league. There is a league because
a league.
Chicago had the Chicago Tornadoes. I think.
And how many games did you go to see?
How many did I go see? Yeah. None. But I mean, at least I saw them on TV. But that's the problem. The problem isn't so much that the girls can't do it. The problem is that there's no revenue for it.
But there would be revenue if there was a push for it, marketing wise. You go see the Harlem Globetrotters. People go see all these other events because the marketing makes it appealing to them. I don't think there's enough of that for the WNBA.
Whose fault is that?
But that also has to do with, that has to be driven by money as well. You got to understand, stuff's not free.
But you also have to, for me, from my perspective, I have to think that these team owners are making a buttload of money, right? Regardless, because not only that, but they're doing advertisements now. So they're getting whatever that advertisement is. The players are not really.
But the contracts went up. The contracts went up when they opened that up too.
They went slightly up, but it's nothing where they're like, okay, cool, you've made up for the differences. They're still traveling. That's not even their main job. You know, they have to play overseas. I think Diana Taurasi plays nonstop.
Yeah, a lot of them play
all year long. She's playing nonstop.
Sure,
because she loves the sport. Whereas a male athlete just plays this season, goes home, and
so here's my counter argument to that. So again, to me, it has to do with money.
Of course,
because you have to have money to pay people, right? Correct. That's the obvious truth, right? I've gone to see a bunch of Sky games. I love watching basketball, so I don't care who's playing, right? So I've shown my support for women sports, right? When I go to a Sky game, it's empty. Now, the basketball players, do they deserve the money? Probably, yeah. I mean, they work just as hard. But the problem is, where's the money? But that's nobody's fault but us, because we don't support our teams.
Right, because
they just won a fucking championship.
It's not anybody's fault. Like,
I mean, you're stupid enough to say that women's basketball is fucking boring.
To me, it is.
I mean, I don't find it boring.
But that's a good point, because there's a lot of more people that think that way, right? And if you say, would you rather watch an NBA game or a WNBA game?
It's going to be WNBA. I mean,
it's NBA all day. Why though? Because you're programmed to always say the better sporting event is the male's event. You're programmed since birth that's. Women are not as competitive, which is not true.
I wouldn't say I would say they're not as athletic, and that's another thing. The entertainment quality is different too. But you know, women, and we'll get into this too, because we're going to talk about a little bit of the transgender thing, because I saw another topic about that. Again, there's differences between men and women.
Absolutely.
Right? Do we really want to see? I mean, what's entertaining? LeBron James dunking the ball and Steph Curry shooting threes like that? Or watching a WNBA game where the score is 43-50.
All right, well,
you get what I'm saying? I'm not disqualifying that they earn those 50s. I'm just saying.
But I'll
looking at the entertainment factor of it,
and I'll take it from a different angle. John, you have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids you have?
3.
Boy, girls?
2 boys, 1 girl.
Okay. Are any of them into sports?
Not yet.
Not yet. So my 8-year-old, not my 8-year-old. I'm sorry, my 12-year-old daughter just got into basketball. Like, she's gun ho. She wants to practice over the summer. She wants she wants to put in the work. That's music to my ears, right? When I go to her games to watch her play, I'm not expecting highlight reels, but I get excited when she scores a basket. I get excited when she does something positive. And then what am I doing now? I'm letting everybody else know. In that moment, when you're either with your child or your nephew or your niece, these kids aren't athletic. These kids aren't the best players yet, but you're investing in them. Why? Because you believe in their product. You believe in what they're capable of doing, and you want to be supportive. That's the problem, is as they get older, we're expecting them to now give us entertainment, to give us a show, to do this. And because, unfortunately, not all women can dunk. Not all women can jump high. Not all women can shoot from half court and make it, even though there's that one girl in college that she's shooting lights out.
She's shooting lights out right now.
But without that, nobody wants to see it. So I almost think that it's because it's not what most viewers want to see, that's why there's no revenue for it.
Yeah.
So, and that's changed. You got to change how you market it. You're not going to see,
I kind of disagree, and I'll give you an example of why I would disagree. Serena Williams is the greatest tennis player of all time, right? And she's pushed hard, right? She's got commercials up the ass, and rightfully so because she can play it. But tennis is a different type of sport. I mean, again, and even then, the argument between men and women goes into tennis too, because like, you know, the whole concept is Serena being the best tennis player of all time. She'll get killed.
And by far.
She'll get beat by your average.
But she's marketable.
Right.
And that's my point. If you market it, there comes the revenue. She's great. Her sister's good too, but who gets more marketing? Serena. She does, right? But she gives you that, right? She kind of falls in line with how this all works.
But she's also unique. Again, she's also she's not your average player. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with the WNBA. There's rarities in there, right? Like I love Sue Bird. I think Sue Bird's a beast.
My favorite player.
Diana Taurasi's a fucking monster. Maya Moore was a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like there's Elena Deladon, monster. You know what I'm saying? But again, even it's not as exciting for the average consumer. And that's who you have to market to, unfortunately. Again, it is entertainment. I know it sucks to say it that way because it's like an investment, but it's entertainment. That's what we watch it for.
So I have a daughter, and she's the last kid I had. So I got 2 boys, 1 girl. So I'm assuming and kind of hoping that she'll get into sports. You know, playing with her older brother, she's going to be a little bit more rougher. She's probably going to go that route. Even if she made it to the WNBA, I wouldn't expect her to be making as much as men. I would love for it, but let's be honest with each other. If you give everybody in the WNBA equal contracts to the people in the NBA, what's going to happen to the league? You're going to be bankrupt within half the year.
That's a good point too. And
there will be no league. So maybe they could be getting paid a little bit more. I'm sure they can, but it's never going to be equal because it's a different company. It's never going to be.
It's a whole
equal.
Different game there.
It's not. You play basketball and we play basketball, so we should get paid the same. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, but I do think that they should be taken into more consideration, like Kevin Durant and most NBA players. There's a market for them. They're in video games. There's merchandise sales. Now
they're in video games too. The girls are in video games now.
But it's slow, you know what I'm saying? And
but even in then, I bet you if you looked up the analytics of how many people have picked a WNBA game in NBA 2K22, I bet you it's like 1 to like 1 million compared to the NBA game. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is the fault.
I will say this: they should be getting paid a little bit more to where they won't have to go overseas. And
I could agree with that.
Get caught up in a marijuana scandal.
Yeah, I can.
Like this. You know, perspective is a crazy thing. Maybe she'll sit in jail for a couple years in Russia and realize America ain't that bad.
Yeah,
I could agree with you. I think they should be compensated where they don't have to go play overseas. I agree with that. I can totally agree with that. But one thing before I forget this,
having to work a second job, motherfuckers are the good concept.
So before I forget this thought, this would be my bow with the women and men differences in wages. Here's my thing: in any position, if women actually got paid less, right? Mm-hmm. If that was 100% true, if I was a business owner, I would never hire men. Why in the world would I hire a man to do any job if I can hire a woman and she would take less? That doesn't make any sense. It's because that's not true. Because in most positions, now you got to discount, you know, if you have college or whatever or experience. That's a whole different ballgame that we can't put this conversation into because experience is different in all levels.
Right.
You know, your experience, let's just say we're going to go for the same, we want to be a store manager. My experience at Aldi as your experience to Walmart, even though they're stores, is going to be different. You deal with more people than I do. I deal with less employees than you would. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be differences. You're technically more qualified. Even though we have the same positions going in, you're technically more qualified. So that's all a variable. What I mean is, again, if I'm an owner of a business and I'm going to bring in people, my goal is to save as much money as I can, right? And for me to make as much money as I can, right? So again, if women get paid lower, the workforce would be 100% women. Because no smart businessman would hire a man if it costs you more money.
I'm going to disagree, and I'll use Hollywood as a prime example. If you were to if you're going to start Marvel, right?
Okay.
From the beginning, are you going to pick Knowing who they are, you're gonna pick Robert Downey Jr. or you're gonna pick Brie Larson to start.
Well, I hate fucking Brie Larson.
that was the wrong person.
You could have picked Scarlett Johansson and would have had a better conversation. I fucking hate. No, I don't hate her. Let me take that back. I don't fucking hate her. I just think she's the worst actress in the world. But that's just me. I think she's a great person. I just think she's the worst actress in the world. Go ahead. Continue with your question because I totally jumped it. Go ahead.
So the truth is, you're gonna pick Robert Downey Jr. Right? Why? Because you're gonna feel that he's gonna bring you more revenue in. He's more marketable.
1,000,000,000% of the time.
Okay, but here's the difference. But now, mind you, if they both had the same quality of work.
But that's the thing. If they're both good actors, let's scrap their names. They're both good actors, right? But
one's a woman, one's a girl. One's a woman and one's a guy.
One's a woman.
One's a woman with a girl. Sorry.
He's drunk.
I'm drunk.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Which one is more marketable? Most business owners tend to side with the male. I can put Robert Downey Jr. or any other male in an Iron Man suit. I can do this. I can do that.
But you got to remember, if it all starts at the same pay, at the same base pay, then yeah, you pick who's more qualified.
Well, no,
but if Robert Downey Jr. is going to cost you $100,000 more, and the other person, the other girl, is equally as good, why would you not save the money?
Well, I'll make this a little bit awkward for everybody.
I love this debate. Go ahead, continue.
Because even if that was the case, then we would hire more immigrants to do the work and not actually hire other people that are experienced.
True, but immigrants, again, you have to mind you, if they're actually legal to actually work is the question. Because we hire immigrants all the time and they usually cut my grass and they get paid pennies. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You're still going to get the same quality of work, but it's not the face that you want, or it's not the idea person you want. So you then spend a little bit to have kind of like the branding of, I have this company that comes in and does this work for me.
Sure.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
But you could just pull up to Home Depot or Menards, and there's a bunch of people ready to work. It's
not the same quality of work, though.
It is. I mean,
probably better.
Yeah.
Or probably worse. Or probably illegal. Or probably outside of code. John, I'm kidding.
You're talking about
at your old house, boy, they put so much armor cable electrical in that house, boy, and that's fucking illegal.
Hey,
but whatever.
We're not talking about that. I'm gonna start OnlyFans, and I better be getting paid as much as every girl. I better be making $15,000 a month.
See,
$15,000.
Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Back to Brittney.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for her.
I do.
Right, because I don't want to see people, locked up for what we consider petty shit. Right, because it's petty. It's petty. It's sweet. Here in the States is obviously a little different. We don't look at it so bad. But I think she's fucking dumb. Because first of all, it's not her first rodeo there, right? Mm-hmm. She's been playing for Russia for multiple seasons already. So you should know what you can and cannot do.
Right.
So at that point, you have no one to blame,
right,
but yourself. My thing is, I hate the way the media covers this shit.
Well, that's how they cover everything, though.
Oh my God! So they're literally almost saying it's a racist thing, because they were like, oh, if it would have been Tom Brady locked up in Russia, they would have went and got him. I'm like, no, because you can't just go to Russia and just grab somebody and say, we're going to take him with us.
Especially not right now.
That's not how it works.
No.
Like, that's not how it fucking... We do that here in the States all the time. I don't see anybody fucking... Go look in Cook County, how many illegal immigrants you probably find that are probably in there for not having a driver's... I saw it all the time when I went to court for traffic court. How many people were like, literally, okay, bro, you're going to have to... You don't have a license. Why don't you have a license? Because I'm illegal. Oh. Now what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just let them go back to where? No, that's not how it works.
Right.
That's not how it works. You committed a crime on foreign soil. That's a serious offense.
Yeah.
They're not just going to let you walk away just because here in Chicago weed is legal. It's not how it works.
Yeah, that's why I don't feel bad for her, though.
I don't feel bad for that. I feel bad because I don't want to see, I don't want to see people in jail like that. And especially in other countries.
10 years of your life.
That's a lot. 10 years is a lot of years. Again, I don't think she should get 10.
And I'm guessing in Russia they don't have a probation period or...
I will say, I bet you she gets treated like a queen, though. Because she is famous over there. She is famous over there. She's been playing for them for a long time. She's not a nobody.
That's true.
And she's probably running the jail, or the women's jail. She is 6'9". 6'9" chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, you want to fuck with me, bro? Seriously, I'll step on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she must be running that fucking jail right now. But I hope she figure something out. I mean, she should learn her fucking lesson though. Like seriously, like.
And hopefully she's got a good lawyer.
Why would you bring it?
I don't know.
Here's the thing: you have money, right? I'm pretty sure she's wealthy, right? It's pretty weird.
Not that wealthy.
Well, she was making $1 million a year in Russia for basketball, so she's got money.
Well, she didn't get paid yet. That's why she's.
No, they're holding her.
Yeah. She got more money than us.
I mean, she can afford gas basically around here. She can afford gas. So here's my thing: if you're a weed smoker, fine, I get it, but you can't tell me that. You have to bring the weed that you bought, where you bought it, and bring it with you. You have money. I'm pretty sure anywhere you go around the world, somewhere there's a weed man.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You could buy some weed from, so you won't have to travel with this shit. So why in the fuck were you traveling with
it? I think it's that whole I'm invincible feeling, right?
Yeah, like I'm Brittney Griner. So whatever. I mean, yeah, you're Brittney Griner, but you're not LeBron James. Even LeBron, if he did it, go to jail, bro. You gotta go to jail.
She was listening to Sia too much. I'm invincible. Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know. It's crazy, man. Like I don't know. I don't know what goes into the minds of these athletes. Same thing with that ball kid that got arrested in China.
Yeah.
Was it? And then Trump went to go get him or some shit, which I think was pretty stupid on our part too. They should have left him there.
Yeah, for theft.
Yeah. You got money and you're stealing from a foreign country. Come on, bro.
Leave him there.
You're fucking dumb. Anyways, back to the transitional transgender story that I read about. So we had a transgender win a big, I think it was a college swimming contest thing. Or what did you see? Did you see it?
I saw the photo. Yeah.
Huge, right? Yeah. Compared to the second place winner was like this little pretty girl who's like small, petite, and then there's this dude who's like, he's got shoulders up
6'6".
You know what I'm saying? And bro, this is wrong. This is what I'm like. I understand that you should have the right to change sex if you want to. I'm all for that. You do whatever you want to do, but you cannot compete. You cannot compete with the natural women. You cannot. It's unfair. You have too much of an advantage.
Right.
You know? I mean, I don't know. What say you, John?
And boy, they try to spin it too. No, I've been taking estrogen for 2 years, so I'm just like a woman. So how are you winning all the time? Like literally everybody that transitions
it's not
from
even
man to woman.
It's not even winning. They're winning by margins. They're destroying records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean that's kind of what I know. He meant it as a joke, but you know, Dave Chappelle, when he was talking about trans, that was his point, right? What's if LeBron James, and this is what he said, like LeBron James decided he wanted to be a woman
playing the WNBA,
who's gonna stop him? He'd average 60 points per game.
Didn't we talk about this once a long time ago?
The only one that would have a chance to stop him is stuck in Russia. I mean, let's be honest.
Damn.
So nobody
stands a chance now.
God damn, that was funny. See, this is why I keep you around. What part of the body? What part of the body is he? He's the what? What do we say?
The appendix. The appendix.
That's why we keep you around, appendix. Same thing. My argument is the same. Like again, I mean, I can go right now and say I'm a woman starting today. I'll go play in the WNBA, and I bet you I'll be top 10.
Yeah.
At my age right
6'3"?
now, I'll be top 10 with my speed, whatever, my little shooting ability, whatever. I'll be top 10. Easy.
I'm all for that. Go
Make
ahead,
money,
bro.
Make some money.
Go
right?
ahead.
I think the one where I was concerned was MMA.
Oh, that's even worse. Like that,
Yeah.
you can't have that.
You know,
man.
you have, and again, that's their choice. That's all power to them. I know that's not an easy thing to go through, but the mindset should be from all sides is unless this happened early on, you've already built that male figure.
Yeah.
You know, your physique is that of a male. You can't not change that. There's nothing you can do that can stop that inner strength that you have, that testosterone that's built up from all these years. No matter how much estrogen you're putting into your body.
I don't give a fuck how much estrogen Brock Lesnar takes. He's never gonna.
Can you imagine?
Dude, bro.
Him against Amanda Nunes. I mean, come on.
7 deaths in a row.
I think in an MMA fight, he would literally try to do like the F5 move that he would do in WWF. Like he would probably be able to do it. Like what the fuck? Like here's my gripe. Because we've had a couple MMA fights with transgenders, right? One of them was the girl, was
Fox.
Something Fox, yeah.
Where she fractured a girl's skull, or something like that.
So why did this happen? Right? I mean, that's an example of obviously she had a strength advantage, right? Now, the argument sometimes goes to, I forgot who it was, but there was a transgender woman who got beat by a natural MMA fighter. I think Joe Rogan said it perfectly. He's like, here's what happened there. The transgender woman was not that good. And the woman who fought was really good.
Yeah.
So there's your difference,
that was
right?
that same girl, Fox.
It was Fox, yeah, she got beat. Or whatever. I'm like, I mean, but you cannot put, again, we're talking about natural, men are superior to women in a lot of things. Physically, not whatever, mentally, physically. And I'm talking about almost 90% of what we do. We're just built. We have faster reflexes. We have bigger muscles. We have bigger hands. We have more bone density. We're just naturally, physically, athletically better, right? Per se. I know it sounds hard to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You cannot grab someone, like you said, who's been having years and years of being a man who just wants to go play with women. It's not going to come out right. It's not going to be pretty. No. Especially when it comes to combat sports. It's not going to be pretty 90% of the time.
And I don't know why it's like such a foreign concept to people. Like, yeah, I'm all for inclusion or whatever, but you're going to get somebody killed over this?
I also notice you never see it much the other way. It's always men that transition into women. I don't see too much women that transition into men
getting into sport.
Because you're at a disadvantage. Now, if those people admit that they're to a disadvantage, okay, so what does that prove? That proves that the men that transition into women are at a advantage, correct?
Right, but I think even in that the swim event, there was a photo that came out where, here's the winner off to the side, and then the 3 other women that participated were off to the other side. If they themselves don't want to incorporate no more because they probably feel like, man, we're at a disadvantage, we lost. Where's the equality then? And again, there's nothing wrong with this is what you want to do with your life. It's your body. You do whatever you want.
I think they should have their own league.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
It's just easier. It's more fair. It's fair for everyone. It's fair for everyone. Right. Because again, if you're a woman that's transitioning to a man and you want to be an MMA fighter, I'm pretty sure you don't want to go in there with Conor McGregor or Ngannou,
anybody
or whatever. I'm pretty sure you don't want to go in there with them, right? So find a league that's with what you are or what you're at this moment and compete.
Right.
I don't think no one's saying you cannot compete. I'm just saying you cannot compete with the natural women when you transition from a man. I just feel like it's too much of a disadvantage. I mean, it's too much of an advantage.
And we all know this.
And a dangerous advantage.
We all know this.
For that, man.
No, I agree.
I don't know. That the world's going crazy. Biden's an idiot.
Oh, man.
What happened?
He just... I
didn't see anything on TikTok.
Did you hear what he said about... I think somebody told him like... he got kind of confused about the first lady's husband, and he thought they were talking about him because like he tested positive for COVID or something. He's an idiot. Like he literally is.
He's not an idiot.
No, he's not an idiot.
Old.
He's old.
Yeah,
he's extremely old.
Does anybody agree with me that we need to imply a age
limit?
I was saying that from the very beginning.
Fuck me.
If there's an age limit going the other way where you're
35.
Yeah.
I think it's 35.
Then it should be like 65. 30 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Come on.
I could agree with that. That's fair enough. Because he's what, 81? He's 81 right now, I think.
Is he?
He's like 81.
No.
No.
Because really, that's the guy I want leading the charge if we really go to fucking war.
I know a bunch of 81-year-olds that yeah.
I know a lot of older people too, and they haven't fallen going up a flight of stairs. Anybody see that part? And twice, 2 times in a row. I think he tried to like kind of do it all energetic or whatever. He falls. He gets up, tries to get his falls down.
It's just like, too much. Bro. Life is hard for me as a 38-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Just imagine 81.
Well, I mean, I guess, what about the guy from Russia? He's pretty young.
Putin?
I think
No, not from Russia. I'm sorry, from Ukraine. The guy from Ukraine is pretty young.
Yeah,
He's a young guy. I think he's
late 40s.
I think he's young to his almost to his disadvantage. You know, because I feel like he's very gun ho, and I'm like, dude, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Like, he's literally like putting on armor and running into the streets and whatever, and that type of stuff. I'm like, dang, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, that's not smart for you, bro. Like, you need to lead your country, not get killed.
But maybe that in his mindset, that's how you lead. You know,
True, but you should be, again, mind you still need to lead the country. You can't lead anyone if you're dead.
Yeah, but there won't be
and
nothing
if you
left.
but if he dies, it's over. Right now, you still have a chance.
No, I'm sure they got a chain of command where somebody else is gonna.
Really? Do we have a chain of fucking command?
When El Chapo,
we have Kamala Harris.
El Chapo got fucking handcuffed. Somebody took his fucking position.
Again, we have Kamala Harris as our backup plan, and I haven't seen her do anything since she's been running.
She's a really wishy-washy.
Like the fact that she was in Poland when she had that interview in Poland, I was like, damn, girl, you still exist. Like, I have not seen you. Man. I have not seen you do anything. Like, the last time I heard about her, anything on the news about her was when they were talking, when they first got elected, they were talking about the cages on the border or whatever, because she was really big on that. But like, since then, I didn't hear anything about her. And I'm like, what have you been
But she had a stint where she was complaining that there wasn't any equality within the White House. You know, because she was a female, that they were looking at her different. People were talking behind her back. If I'm not mistaken, that was one of her issues. She felt that she was being sabotaged in the White House. Yeah.
Interesting. Because I look at that other girl talking all the time. She talks every day. What's her name? The one Jen Psaki. And she's kind of cute for her age. I find her strangely attractive.
You like redheads?
Yeah.
You got a thing for redheads?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's something about redheads. I don't know. I know you guys are married men and you guys can't react the same way I can.
Yeah.
Something about redheads.
Even when I was single, I never redheads.
I don't know. Something redhead. I mean, she talks a shit ton. A lot, actually. You know, it's funny to watch her try to defend Biden's
that must be
comment.
Oh my God. It's got to be the hardest job in America right now, right?
Trying to justify what the fuck that guy said.
Well, he said, I don't know what the fuck he said.
He didn't read what I wrote. That's for sure.
Dude, there's a teleprompter. Biden, just read the shit. Like, bro, honestly, it's almost like I feel the same way about Biden, the same way I feel about Trump in a way. Like, Trump's biggest fucking problem, in my opinion, was that he talked too much.
Yeah, he was like Derrick Rose.
He didn't know when to shut up.
Yeah, he was the Derrick Rose of presidents. He couldn't put a mic in front of him.
Yeah, you had to take the fucking mic away from him, but nobody did. But whatever. Biden's kind of the same way. Someone go up there and read for him. Or say what, because no, man. And then he's literally, you have teleprompters in front of you. Yeah, right, and I'm pretty sure they're the best teleprompters in the world.
Yeah.
Whatever, probably somebody's sitting off screen with a pointer, pointing at the fucking word, and he somehow still messes up his fucking speech.
I can't wait. So this is like his first year, right?
Second. Well, yeah, first year.
Kind of, sort of. You know, eventually he's gonna be reading that teleprompter and he's gonna fall asleep. You know it's gonna happen. He's got 3 more years. It's gonna happen.
That means he's gonna get out. That means he's gonna be there till he's 84, basically, roughly. Because I'm pretty sure he's not gonna win a second term.
No,
I don't think so. There's no way. I'm pretty sure most people are kind of Now I don't want to say regretting voting for him because I'm pretty sure
they were regretting him.
No, I think. Were you a Trump guy or a Biden guy?
I was neither. I was neither.
You were neither? I thought they were both fucking idiots.
I was hoping somebody else would show up last minute.
The Rock just comes in with a microphone.
Man, I would definitely vote for The Rock.
I would.
Hands down, 100%.
The whole fucking, what do they call it? The debate's going on. All of a sudden, his music comes on and he just comes in and starts rock bottoming people into the fucking podium.
Because the same way he reacted to Brie Larson is the same way I will react with The Rock.
Really?
Yeah. Not a fan.
Wow.
He's a hater.
Of his acting.
You know why he's a hater?
Wrestling. Okay.
You know why he's a hater?
His wrestling was
because he has better abs than him. That's why. He's got better abs than John.
You know,
but you're the better appendix.
Yeah, you're the better appendix. Yeah.
Just always remember that.
The Rock's appendix got removed when John Cena fucking laid about.
Just take steroids, man. Just admit it.
That's what your gripe is?
Yes.
Golly.
Don't tell everybody, oh, yeah, I work harder than... No, you don't. You take steroids.
Well, even then, so you got to sell your product. So I'm going to tell the world whatever I want. And then that way you buy my Zoa energy drinks.
I ain't buying shit from him. Fuck him.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
You see, he does have a Rock shirt on right now, right? He's representing. He's got the Brahma Bull.
The Brahma Baloney.
Wow, you're a hater, dude.
A bum.
You're a hater, bro.
I
You
love
really
it.
are.
That guy from Rocky got it right. You're a bum.
You're
Rock.
a bum, Paulie. Paulie, Uncle
No,
Paulie.
that wasn't Paul. It was fucking Mickey. It was his trainer.
Mickey.
You're a bum, Rock. You were better when you were carrying spit.
Aww.
Jesus.
You don't remember that?
No, I
When the
do.
second one
That's
was
just
carrying
saying
when
that's sad.
they give him his locker and shit.
That was a nasty spitball.
What? I think he actually like the guy who he had him like cleaning or whatever, and the guy who he was training in the ring with, he actually spit in the bucket that Rocky was carrying or whatever. He's like, "Wait, come here, Rock."
I was like, damn, that's disrespectful.
Is that his
What?
dip bucket?
I don't know. Speaking of movies,
Yes.
you're a Batman fan?
I'm a huge Batman fan.
Huge Batman fan. Is he like your favorite hero?
He's not my favorite. Truth be told, I'm a big Robin fan.
You're a big Robin fan.
The first
Out of
Robin.
all the superheroes, Robin's your guy.
Robin's my guy. Even named my son after him.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice.
So son's name is Grayson.
I thought you called him Dick.
No.
That's a great. That's going to be a lot of insults in high school.
No, my son's name is Grayson
That's a nice
Richard,
name.
which is
Yeah, there you go.
Grayson.
Yeah.
I like it.
yeah. So I mean, I even got a tattoo of Robin all over my arm, and it was because he was the more relatable character.
Can I say one thing funny real quick?
Don't disrespect
Hold on.
Robin.
It was you know how you remember the old Adam West
Yeah,
show
yeah.
or whatever. So like my dad used to watch. I remember like the few times I've ever heard my dad curse ever. He goes, we were talking about Batman. He's like, oh, pero Robin es el pendejo, like the dummy, like he's a dumbass. You know, like he's a dumb because in that show they portrayed him as kind of like an idiot, like an idiot, like
simpleton.
it was almost like when in the Lego movie. Did you watch the Lego movie, the Batman Lego movie?
Yeah, no.
No, did you?
No,
I think I
did.
The one that the Robin was like super obsessed with him. He called
Yeah,
him Padre
yeah,
and shit
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's kind of like a dope, like that. You know what I mean? But Robin always was a pretty cool character.
Yeah, no, I fell in love with that character as a kid. And nerd alert, he was my favorite because there's comics where he took the mantle over for Batman. He trained Damian, which was Batman's son, for a while. He broke out of that, went to his own
What do you
city.
mean? It was Batman's child for a while.
Well, because there's different storylines where they took that away from
Oh yeah,
him.
you're right. You know, I take it back.
But that character was more relatable to me. So,
Right on.
but that still doesn't mean that I don't love Batman. If you were to put Batman and Superman in front of me, I would say Batman every time.
Of course.
I
I got a better one for you. I got a better comparison. So I had somebody sent me a picture of 2 red buttons, and the button said "delete from existence."
The
and
Rock.
on top of that, wow, dude, you're
What? I sneezed. I said, The Rock.
wow. On top of those buttons was a picture of Batman, and on top of the other one was a picture of Spider-Man. That was tough for me.
I get rid of Spider-Man.
Really?
100%.
Ooh, that's tough for me.
100%.
I don't know which one I would give up. That's tough for me.
100%.
But the reason I bring it up because Batman just had a new movie come out 2 weekends ago. I know we're a little late. You saw it.
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was 3 hours long, and you could feel it. You know, you go to a movie, right, and it's like, man, this is pretty long.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at your watch, like, oh, of course, it's 2 hours.
Look at your
55
watch
minutes.
during a movie. It's not a good thing. That's
But
never a good thing.
it's not a discredit to the film. You just feel it. I felt like there was
I think it's a fucking discredit to the film.
no, because there were so many opportunities where you could have ended the film, but you decided to keep stretching it out.
Why? Like I okay, so John didn't say it, but he doesn't care. Do you care?
Do you care, John?
Gone ahead.
The Rock's not in it.
Yeah, the Rock's not.
He's not in
It's
it.
okay to watch it.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
There is a Rock though, like Rock.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a.
Neither here nor there. I will say I thought it was good. Again, it was too long.
It
It
was.
was way too fucking long. Like this is when Avengers and those type of movies kind of mess shit up because now everyone wants to have a fucking 3-hour runtime. Like, stop. Really,
Yeah.
we don't need 3 fucking hours. 2.5 is fine. The whole last epic stuff that was going on in the Madison Square Garden looking thing, you could have cut all that out.
You could have.
I would have been happy and the same effect if you would have ended the movie when the bombs went off and the city was getting flooded.
Yeah.
You end it right there, same thing. Great ending. You show Batman and trying to save the city, blah, 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 blah. You didn't need that whole extra 20 minutes of what? What was the point?
Yeah.
There was no fucking point.
I mean, I'll even go further and say you could even stop that. You can stop it right after, the Riddler tells his whole plan to Batman. Cut it right there. Don't even show
that too.
Don't even
Yeah.
show the flood.
Yeah.
Don't even bring that part into it. Just let them have that dialogue. Leave it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they did leave it kind of at a cliffhanger because you don't know what's going on in the city.
Right. Yeah. I guess I went in with this notion that I read a bunch of critics, people saying that the gentleman that portrayed the Riddler was surpassing Heath Ledger, and I was like, that's a big no. That's a supreme negative. First
Was that
of all,
before or after you watched it?
no,
Or both?
it was right after. Right after was like the guarantee stamp of approval. You're all wrong, and whoever wrote this should be fired.
Who played the Riddler?
Some up and coming guy, but he was good.
He's
like,
good.
The funny thing is that he's the speaking point of the movie. Like Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Batman was decent, but he's not the we're talking about him. I think the other characters were acted better in the film than Robert Pattinson.
But Robert Pattinson didn't have to do much, right? Because all he had to do was Batman. It's the first Batman movie where he was Batman 95% of the time.
Yes,
he was very seldom where he was Bruce Wayne.
But I didn't like that too much either because you have to be. Here's the thing.
Well, maybe if he would have hit the gym, they would have showed him shirtless a little bit more.
He tried.
He didn't want to.
No,
there was rumors he didn't want to.
They said he gave it a shot and it was hard for him to put on weight, and obviously that's discouraging.
He gave it 3 days. 3 days.
I don't know. I guess you can give him the benefit of the doubt because it's a younger Batman. He can be slimmer, I guess. He didn't have to really. It's not like he was going up against Clark or whatever, right? It's going up against regular humans, so no big deal. That's not necessarily my problem. My thing is, Batman is equal parts Bruce Wayne and equal parts Batman. To me, you have to have that because if you don't, then it's not really Batman. Because Batman's struggle is the fact that he wears a mask. He wears a mask, but the mask is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And there was no showing of who Bruce Wayne was at all in this movie.
Yeah.
He wasn't a playboy. He was just like some recluse dude that just mopes around or
very
whatever.
Emo.
Yeah, it was just like this whatever.
His
you know what I'm saying?
parents did die.
It's almost like can you do an Iron Man movie and have Tony just make suits and he's not the playboy. You just see him in the Iron Man suit.
Well,
no. You have to have the other character.
But I think what I liked about this film is they really spent time in making Batman your detective.
Yeah, I give him that. I would give him that.
Whenever he was in a room, he was a superior detective, even when detectives
he
were
saw
there.
things before everybody else did. Like the one that was really cool was that he spotted that blood on the floor, and then the other people saw it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
But they were really pushing for that, which most of the other films, they don't do that, right? It's just, I know this or I know that. Like this was detailed as far as putting him as a detective.
So he was like Ace Ventura when he was doing the sliding door. Nice. I like that.
I don't know. Again, when it comes to Batman, and here's the thing, and this movie was weird sometimes with like stupid things where I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. So there's literally a scene in the movie where he's walking down a hallway and people are unloading magazines of automatic fire weapons at him, and he's bulletproof, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, there's this big gaping hole right here, and somehow not one single bullet goes in this direction.
It's another great Sia.
I mean,
Sia song.
Come on, like really? No one's smart enough at Gotham to fucking shoot him in the mouth.
But I mean, if we go that route, then it's kind of like that whole comic belief behind it, right? I mean, how do you not know Superman is Clark Kent? I mean, the man just makes
just fucking put
come on.
You're Clark Kent right now.
Right, I'm definitely Clark Kent. I'm gonna walk out. I'm Superman. You know, so I mean, to what I really enjoyed about the film.
Era Lois Lane. She was the one sleeping with him, and she didn't even know shit either. It's fucked up. I don't know. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't great.
I think it was a really good film. I think Robert Pattinson did a great Batman. I really liked the whole detective aspect of it, and I like the differences. I mean, they showed you a young Batman, not just in age but in experience. I mean, they flip over his notebook or whatever, and it says year 2. That means he's only been doing this for.
Sure.
So he's gonna have all these trials, and he's gonna learn from a lot of them. But what I really liked was the fact that at the end when he's having his little conversation with the Riddler, he tells him, like, you're the reason why I'm here. So Batman is instilling fear into criminals. And one criminal, the Riddler, used that to instill fear into the city.
He like inspired them.
Which is beautiful, right? To me, as someone that's looking into the storyline and that's looking into how they wrote this, it's like, that's absolutely 100% correct. No Batman, no need for the Riddler, no need for people. Right,
like there was a cartoon in the animated show. There's a court episode where Batman's on trial.
Well, you're all about that animated.
Because that animated show was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like that's the fucked up part, is that an animated show is better than 90% of the Batman flicks out there. In this episode, they were Batman was in court, and he was like, there was a comment that was made by the prosecutor saying that Batman is just as crazy as the people that he brings in, and he's the one that's creating these things. Mm-hmm. Because, like you just said, without a Batman, you don't have the Joker, because the Joker's whole thing was because, depending on what story you go off, it was Batman's fault.
Yeah.
Right? He kind of created the character, So without Batman at all, who knows if it would have happened? Same thing with Harvey. Same thing with a lot of the characters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's his fault, kind of.
Right, and I also like the fact that it wasn't one of those like I got to take over the world kind of thing.
It was grounded.
Yeah,
it was like, no, I want to punish the people that lied to me. I agree with that. I can find someone. I can see the
That's relatable.
Yeah. Instead of like let's try to take over the world, which is most of Marvel movies.
The whole Bane thing. This bomb is mobile, and the trigger man is a mystery. Shut the fuck up.
That's horrible.
Do it. You do it then, fucker.
No.
All right then. Oh my god. Who's the best Batman on film?
Michael Keaton.
Really?
Hands down.
Michael Keaton had no body though, bro.
Hands down.
Hands down?
Michael Keaton.
I think Christian Bale whoops his ass.
Ah, no. With the where is she?
I'm okay with that though. Man. I'm okay with that. No. He portrayed the best of both.
No.
Come on.
No.
Notice nobody named that lame ass George Clooney.
Well, I mean, he did that as a favor, so
shit,
he did that as a favor.
Fuck it, we're gonna say that. We might as well say Jim Carrey's the greatest Riddler of all time. Man. What the fuck? I mean, I'll tell you what though. Hold on, I was watching that movie on TV the other day, and Jim Carrey, as stupid as the movie was, Jim Carrey is the shining thing in that movie for me.
Yeah,
because he does some stuff that I'm just like, wow. Like, I mean, obviously I'm into the whole craft, but like. He does sometimes like with how he can draw his emotions up and down. He's fucking amazing. Yeah. We were talking about Jim Carrey with Lorden or whatever. Like he's fucking just really fucking good. Even the movie was stupid, but I think he was probably the best part. Like, but Michael Keaton, man, talk about guys who didn't work out for the role.
Who's more relatable though?
As a
character, right? Because even Michael Keaton did Bruce Wayne perfect. He
didn't have much of a Bruce Wayne though.
He did have much of a Bruce Wayne. That's how he got what's her face.
I will say one thing: I didn't like him in Batman Returns because he was all over the place. First of all, Bruce Wayne is a nobody in Batman Returns because he's walking around the street and no one even knows it's him. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's a part where he sees Selena, like whatever he runs into Selena. No, not Selena Kyle. That wonderful Michelle Pfeiffer.
She wasn't born.
He runs into her in the street and like no one knows who he is. So that's not accurate. He's fucking Bruce Wayne. Everyone should fucking know who he is.
But is that Michael Keaton's fault or is that the director's fault?
You have to incorporate that, right? Because it's part of the flick.
Well, the director's fault.
It wasn't like when fucking fucking Christian Bale played it. Everywhere he went, he was. It's Bruce Wayne, which is how it should be because he's.
But again, I look at every aspect of all the films, right? Tim Burton did the first two Batman,
sure,
right? And from my knowledge, he wasn't even big on the comics.
No,
where Christopher Nolan's a different director.
He wasn't really big on comics either.
He wasn't big on the comics, but he was big on the stories, and so he made those characters relatable to your everyday person. Even the Joker, his portrayal of that Joker. Makes it seem like anybody can be that guy.
That's what made it great.
You know what I mean? There was no like dropping into a pool in the acne and then,
right.
There was none of that.
Or whatever.
It was literally face paint on his face. There was a scar that appeared, but
We don't really know what happened.
We don't really know because he changed the story twice within the movie.
Yeah.
But it's the portrayal of this character. You're like, man, I can see someone falling into this. Whereas the first two Batmans were more cartoony. They were more of a comic book-ish, but for a younger crowd. You know, they weren't as dark as all these other films. But
so I was watching a podcast of a local podcast of some, you know, a couple of friends on Facebook, and they're actually going to be guests soon. And their whole podcast is about, you know, reviewing old superhero movies. Right. So they were talking about Batman Returns and whatever. And oh my God, that was pretty funny. Cause this is like, I'm listening to it and I'm like, dude, I remember, and I'm like, this is crazy. Cause like, I've always said this, like, there's a lot of shit that we saw as kids that nowadays wouldn't be acceptable. I mean, like, in Batman Returns, like, there's some shit there that I'm like, wow, like you would get canceled right now for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie, but I do like that movie. I do like Batman Returns a lot more than Batman 89, because like Batman 89, again, mind you, it was the first time they ever tried something like that, right? You know, it was all miniatures and all this stuff and blah blah blah. And Jack Nicholson was a little bit extreme for me.
Really?
He was good, but he's a little too stupid at times.
Jokery.
Yeah, not jokery, like extreme, like more like Jim Carrey-ish in some scenes. Like it's just kind of a little too much for me. But Batman Returns was just badass. Like from the jump, it's a badass movie. It's not a Batman movie though, because it's not even like, it's too a lot of the characters are not even based on their comic book counterparts. Like the Penguin's not like that. The Penguin's more like in the new one.
Right.
It was like a gangster or whatever. Who played him? Colin Farrell played him in the new one, right?
Yeah, he did awesome. He did great.
I thought he did great. I want to see more of him.
He did well. They have the show that's not going to start on HBO Max.
You're right. I don't know. Something about Danny DeVito's performance is badass, bro.
Fucking Danny DeVito.
That dude was badass in that fucking thing. But look at the shit he did. They were talking about it too, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I realized it. Do you remember the part where he's in his campaign office, and that one voluptuous white girl walks up to him, Mr. Cobblepot, you blah 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 blah, and he's like, oh, wear a button. He's like, get it on there. He's like, walks away.
But I think that's what makes it cartoony, right?
But that's also called sexual harassment. You can't do that. You really can't do that. And some of the other shit that was said in that movie, like right when he walks upstairs in that same scene, and Catwoman's laying in the bed, and he's like, "Just a pussy I was looking for," and I'm like, I'm watching this up to the top, like, what the fuck did he just say? Well, like, holy shit, it's crazy. That movie was fucking amazing. I don't know. So you said Michael Keaton's your best Batman. That's
my bet. I mean, you said live though, right?
Yeah. So would you say that's the best film then? What's the best Batman film you've seen? Including Justice League, all those other ones too.
Man, that's tough.
Just no cartoons.
I think Dark Knight is always going to be my top.
Good pick.
And it has nothing to do with, you know, Christian Bale. Even though I didn't mind him as Batman, I didn't mind him as Bruce.
Man, he said he didn't mind him. I thought he was great. He didn't mind him.
I didn't mind.
Where's the trigger? Someone knows where he is.
Macho Man?
I know.
Hey, sorry. You could have hired the Macho Man to fucking play Batman.
No, that'd be weird. You walking into the room twirling.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't work.
That would not have worked at all. But Dark Knight, for sure, that's my favorite Batman film.
I think most people could agree with that one. So let's go with the next one. What's your next best then? Because I think most people agree with it's the Dark Knight.
How are you going to see the Batman ears with that fucking sombrero on, that fucking Macho Man over there with that fucking hat on?
Or with the fucking ski goggles he would always fucking wear or whatever. I don't know.
That's tough. And you're saying like you incorporated Justice League, but this is all live, right?
I mean, I would hope you don't incorporate any of the Justice League movies. I mean, they're pretty god awful.
Well, the Zack Snyder,
it wasn't bad.
I actually enjoyed the Zack Snyder.
I thought it was a hell of an improvement.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was a hell of an improvement, but when the bar is in the negatives already, anything's a fucking improvement. I still don't think it was an amazing fucking film. It's still fucking all over the place. It's better. A hell of a lot better. But it's not fucking Academy Award winning either. It's not The Dark Knight.
No, it's not The Dark Knight.
It's not Batman Begins. And I'm willing to say it's not better than the Bane one too.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Bane one either, but
come on.
you like it because he's muscular? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And he's not on steroids.
He's not. He probably was to do that film. He was pretty big in that film. Tom Hardy did gain some weight in that.
Well, he was big also in Warrior too. So
I just like that monologue he did when he was beating the shit out of him.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
That fucking, it was quiet. All you heard was the water falling in the background and punches. That was great. Even though they kind of looked kind of fake sometimes.
Yeah.
that tornado spin Superman punch he gave him. And what the fuck is this?
Born in it.
There you go. Hey, that was pretty good.
Wounded by it.
Hey.
I'll try.
as long as it doesn't change it to like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
That wasn't bad,
you're
dude.
all right.
Come on, give me another one. Give me another line from that movie. You know it. Come on.
Right.
What do you mean next week? Come on.
He worked real hard for those.
Come on, bro. It's not that hard.
Oh, Gollum.
Oh, see, you got to change the fucking
Every
subject.
time
You
they
suck,
talk about
John.
Gollum, it reminds me of my grandma.
Oh, wow, bro.
I'm sorry. There was a little bit of a tiny little bit of a resemblance.
Wow, bro. I'm not even going to laugh at that, bro, because that's so disrespectful. If I believed in a hell, that's where you would be going, bro. That's where you're going, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, that's
Good thing you don't
fucked up.
believe in it, right?
That's fucked up, bro. Holy crap. I don't know. I agree. I think obviously the Dark Knight is to me the best one. I think it had the best combination of like every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Had great acting and had great cinematography. Chicago looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what brought down the other one because they didn't film it here. The third one, they filmed it in Philadelphia because Chicago wanted to tax that ass. And I think it made it look a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, it had some good moments in The Dark Knight Rises. That was cool.
Yeah.
It had some good moments. Like that fight was pretty badass. That fight was dope. There was just some shit that didn't make no fucking sense to me. Like when he breaks his back and then somehow he's hanging from a rope and somebody says, "You have a vertebra protruding from your back. Let me smack it back in there," because that's how you do it in real life. Like really, that's how that
guy
works.
was a chiropractor. You don't know.
And somehow he's locked up in a hole in the ground and he's trying to escape by climbing and jumping across a little pier that apparently nobody else could do but Batman and a little kid.
No, but I mean, I think this is why I think Christopher Nolan was trying to pay attention to the comic books, right? Everybody knows the story that Batman did break his back by Bane, right? And it took months and months and months before he even became Batman again. So how can I'm thinking as Christopher Nolan, make this relatable? Well, let's ante it up, right? We've already
Let's hang him from a rope and pop it back in.
Where else can he do it? But but it also ties into Bane's story, right? This is where Bane came from. This is how he became who he is and whatnot. And same thing for the Ghoul child. This is where they became
Talia. That was her name, right? Talia Al Ghul.
Was it Talia?
Yeah, it was Talia. Because that's what he does. That's what. And then
The daughter.
Oh my God.
Of Ra's al Ghul.
At the end, again, yeah, that kills me, bro. The stupid knife killed me. I'm like, she's like, but he's not the son of. Really? That's all it takes?
Yeah.
That's all it takes to stab Batman. How does she know that the play
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's Batman would not have been stabbed.
I mean,
I'm sure of it.
I mean, think about it though. He just changed suits, right? To part 2, right? And then Lucius Fox tells him, "Oh, the separation of the plates makes you more vulnerable." Blah blah blah. How the fuck did Talia know that?
She looked at the blueprints.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
That's what she did.
Yeah. There was so many stupid, and then her death was so lame.
Yeah.
Like she's my father's work is done. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Who okayed that? How many takes? Please tell me that you just did it in one take and you had to go home. You were running out of battery on the camera.
Film here.
That's a wrap. Let's go. Really? That's the best fucking death you could get? Come on.
That's all they had time for.
Oh my God. There was so many like bad things about the movie. And the funny thing is I went at a midnight show for that movie thinking, and I'm like there super early because I'm like, oh, it's going to sell out just like nobody went. Nobody. It was fucking empty. And I'm there at 7 at a midnight show.
Oh, wow.
Waiting outside the fucking theater.
7 at a midnight show.
And I'm just fucking sitting there and I'm like, oh, it's going to be packed. We got to go get seats because this was before you could, you could pick your seats or whatever. We got to go. Fucking sitting there for 2 hours. Me and my sister and my cousin. And we're sitting there and no one's fucking showing up.
Damn.
But anyways, at least it was halfway decent, I guess.
Yeah. It's a
Could have
good
been worse.
popcorn
It could have
flick.
been that god awful Ninja Turtles movie.
Which one?
The
All the
one-
Michael
newer
Bay ones?
Yeah,
Oh, I hate
golly.
those films.
Anyways, won't jump into the Turtles thing because that's just bad. Anywhere people can find you.
I'm on Instagram. I don't even know what my name is. I think it's
I have
That's
the
not
same
good.
problem. I have the same problem.
I think it's literally my name, Diego R217.
You're a Rivera, right?
Yeah, I'm a Rivera.
Here's to that.
I'm on Facebook. Same name, Diego L Rivera.
You don't have a stage name? I'm just kidding.
I don't. I actually like my name as far as like for production purposes. I didn't like it in growing up because then everybody would be like, "Oh, you're named after a famous painter." No, I'm not actually. I'm named after my father.
The Frida thing, right?
Yeah.
Frida thing.
So I'm not named after a painter. Oh, but do you paint? Yeah, because I'm named after the guy. That's why I painted. Come on, seriously?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
My name's Bob, so that means I can paint. You know?
It's like,
you know.
come on, man.
Put a little tree here, you know.
My
Fan brush.
name's Adolf, so I'm gonna.
That's bad, bro. That's
I mean,
fucked up.
come on.
Oh man, that's bad. That's bad, bro.
Just saying, it's stupid. It's
No, it is stupid, and then I would hate the jokes, right? Like, oh, where's Frida? Oh yeah, okay, I'll go find her real quick.
She's shaving her eyebrows. She's hanging out with Anthony Davis. I don't know. I mean, so Facebook, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Facebook, just Diego L Rivera. Try not to get my father, because he has the same name, and that happens.
So
too.
you're a junior then?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've even had people send him happy birthday on my birthday, and I'm like,
that's awkward.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of weird.
I mean, I hope he's happy that someone told him happy birthday. But no, yeah, that's it. Facebook, Instagram. I'm barely getting back onto Twitter. I just think that's all time consuming too, and I can't keep up with all the social
That's why
media
that's the only thing he does for me. He kind of keeps me on
Whoa,
TikTok
we're on
and stuff
TikTok.
like that. Yeah,
IMO with J&M.
yeah, he's got us on TikTok right now. And it's actually got some pretty good views. I mean,
Yeah,
not great,
decent.
but I mean,
No,
honestly, people actually, I'm
Wait for
surprised people watch it.
20K thing.
I'm fucking surprised people actually watch it. Some of them are funny, so you kind of.
I take time.
Yeah,
I do it.
Good.
Yeah.
About time.
There's a couple in this episode that I'm gonna put up.
Nice.
Way to go, appendix.
You should do the Bane
Appendix.
voice thingy.
No, that's
Definitely do the Gollum voice.
yeah. Gollum is my grandma. Yeah, I'll
Wow.
put that
See,
up.
bro.
Sorry, Michael.
What? Yes, my son.
There was a resemblance.
I'm not gonna comment. That's horrible, dude. I am not gonna comment on
Come
that
on,
at all.
Michael.
I am not gonna comment on that at all.
Especially when he's trying to grab that fish.
Oh my god.
It reminds me of her dropping a tostón on the floor. Trying to grab-
The only story I really remember about your grandmother was one time my dad, because we all used to go to the same church, right? So at one point they cut off her finger, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then my dad, oh my God, I remember this, but like this was yesterday. My dad, I think it was like they cut her middle finger off.
Something like that, yeah.
And then my dad was trying to play it like a joke with her,
Oh no.
right? And he flicks her off.
Oh my god.
Your dad flicked off my grandmother?
Yeah, it was like he
Damn.
was trying to say like, oh, you're whatever, like playing around. Like all people saw was him doing this.
Sweet Jesus.
Bro, I remember. I mean, maybe that was in a dream. I don't know, but I swear I saw that. I
you're gonna
swear
have
to
to
you, I
ask
saw
him.
that. I swear I saw that. Anything else you wanna before we sign off?
No, I appreciate you guys bringing me on. And just look forward to possibly working with you on any film related stuff. And
Oh yeah, you're signed on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're signed.
Alright. You're
You're in.
signed
Yeah, you're in.
already,
Yeah. I forged your signature. You're good.
nice.
You're good.
Nah, but that's really it. And for those who are watching, hopefully you'll catch my podcast and any future projects that I'm working on.
Cool. John.
Yeah,
Last words for you,
hopefully
buddy.
we'll be on his podcast, or at least you. I'm not interesting at all. I got nothing to say.
What are you talking about?
Well, now we could have a whole debate on The Rock.
Oh,
there you go.
There's no debate. The Rock sucks.
I don't-
What are you talking about? There's no debate.
You're
Knock it
man,
off.
You're a hater, bro.
I'm not a hater. Say
you
you take
are.
steroids and I'll like you. That's all you got to do.
That doesn't mean he's not doing anything else well. You just hate him for personal reasons.
Well, you say he's not a good actor.
I said he's as good as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh, I think he's a little bit better than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Look at this guy's face.
Excuse me?
You see his face?
From acting?
You're gonna kick him off the set now?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, man.
What?
Get the fuck out.
So what I said earlier, I guess that they won't be working on projects with me.
It's not. No, man. This guy swears that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the greatest freaking thing since sliced bread. I mean, literally. I don't know. I don't understand why, but whatever. Especially when it comes to the acting thing. He swears up and down that he's like the greatest thing.
I don't.
No?
You know Leo's my guy.
Oh, that's a good.
And then
none of your business.
the fact that you put Leonardo DiCaprio and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the same sentence is baffling.
Just end the show.
Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate Diego. I appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, thank you. Guys.
I definitely will keep in contact with you because I definitely need your expertise when it comes to filming.
You got it, man.
John, you're good, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it,